As a reader, I like to name my humanness when it comes to sitting with some of the parts and pieces that come up in collective readings. Because as of late, a lot of my readings, if you've been tuned in the last, I think it's been the last 3 to 4 weeks, most of my readings have continued to end on a note of union, right? It's like this deep dive into like your psyche and then boom, union. And it's almost like what Spirit just showed me as I was sitting here is like, it's like getting closer and closer, like I'm seeing like a line, and it's like timeline, like it's getting closer to your reality. And so my humanness comes in because of the fact that I am also in this collective, and there's edges of vulnerability and insecurity that comes up with like I'm feeling what you're feeling. And so even naming that out loud is, it's vulnerable in nature and also revealing. And so I'm just sharing that with you guys. But I do want to talk about the reality of what is like settling in. And I just saw like pieces falling into place, like almost like Tetris, like the perfect, like if you could have the most perfect Tetris match and like get all the pieces to fit and like have the most points accumulated, that's what's happening here. And so I was doing a whole spread because I wanted to know with Spirit, I'm like, what is showing up, what is here, what is going on, and just like the like really getting into the root of it. Because each reading I've done, it's sort of like, yeah, you're mirroring each other, you're similar, you feel this quantum otherworldly sort of experience. Because the collective of people that I talk to, you guys are not surface level people. I'm not talking about like just, you know, getting together with another person because you like the same music or you have the same favorite color. It's like this soul tether that has always been present, and it's like you both like tugging at it and like following it forward each step. And even in the hesitation, I asked Spirit before I was like, do I do this reading? Like I was still like hesitating at the threshold, and I got new beginnings and burden, right? At this sort of, and then at the bottom of this of my shamanic oracle deck was movement into balance. And it's sort of this like hesitation at the edge. I'm seeing like the image of somebody who's like doing like a zip line, and they're like, no, I don't want to, I know it'll be fun, I don't want to. And so I broke I have all these cards laid out here as I was diving into this energy. And I'm going to pause for a second and introduce myself, because I feel like most of you know me, but there are a few people here that haven't met me yet. I'm Izzy, 8th House Mercury here, and on my other account I go by Astrology, where I do evolutionary astrology. A couple things about the astrology that is happening. We've got a Mercury Kazemi happening. We've got some Chiron conjunct Mars, a new moon in Taurus happening on Saturday with that configuration, and there's a lot of intensity of like pacing. And I want to really, I have a whole YouTube video on this, by the way, if you want to watch it. It's linked in my bio. The importance here is this connection does not have to take form the way your past connections have gone. And I'm talking to both of you because there is this mirroring aspect, is you can go slow. You don't have to rush this. And that made me think of a song lyric. Lady Antebellum, we don't need to rush this. Let's just take it slow. Yeah. That's funny. That song came on for me yesterday. Anyways, back into the reading is like, the pacing of this, the intensity of it makes you want to move it quickly. But I'm here to invite you into, because now the astrology is coming in, and that's why Spirit wanted me to do this message, is because there's a, so just for context sake, I split it into masculine, feminine, and so in the feminine's energy, I had cards, and then feminine's feelings towards this connection, and then the connection itself, masculine's feelings towards the connection, and then the masculine in his own energy. And so this is like, it's so interesting because it's like wherever you identify on that spectrum, use your own discernment in this connection, because there are roles that you are playing in it, but it is also this deeper thread that it is you with your inner parts, your inner masculine, inner feminine, like that's showing up for you. So use your discernment of like where you fall into this connection, because for my feminines, you're in this hermit, high priestess, 9 of cups energy where it's like, I'm like, you're doing good on your own. You're really in this energy of like cultivating your craft and your magic, and it's been very solo. But if you saw my reading yesterday, which I feel these were the same cards that came out, it's kind of this energy of like, you fantasize about the 10 of cups, but you are kind of just like enjoying the 9 of cups right now, and that is important for you to enjoy right now, what you've cultivated for yourself. And then moving into the masculine energy, we have the 8 of flames and the king of flames, and there's sort of this threshold that the masculine's at a certain degree of like action that needs to be taken for the betterment of them stepping into their own light, stepping into illumination. And like, look at this card. He looks like Icarus. But it's almost like Icarus if Icarus didn't fly too close to the sun, like the actual potential. And there is a lot of potential energy in the masculine field right now of like I really feel like taking like it's like, you know, that movement and change needs to happen for my masculines. Now the feminine's feelings towards this connection, a bunch of cards came out. We got the Queen of Spheres, Princess of Spheres, Queen of Cups, and Death. And it really is this like, I feel the feminine energy within the feminine and within the like inner feminine, right, is like terrified of being too much. Too much emotions, too much connection, too much vastness. It's like the ocean, the void, the cosmic womb, like this vast energy that is all encompassing. It's everything between words spoken and that fills the fills the cracks of everything. And it's intense. And I think there's like, that is why the feminine has like remained very on her own. It's so interesting, the song from Les Mis, Eponine song. On my own, pretending he's beside me, all alone, I walk with him till morning. And it's like this, like, it's very sad if you don't know that story within Les Mis. Without him, I feel his arms around me, and when I lose my way, I close my eyes, and he has found me. You know, I definitely love that song. I was an Eponine. And it's like, it's time to step into your Marius and Cosette energy. It's like, and it's kind of this energy of like reaffirming to your inner feminine and your feminine energy for the feminines, right? Again, this mirroring, it's like, you are not too much. You are not too much, okay? We're going to take this into a part 2 because we're going to dive deeper into what is going down, okay? So I'll see you in part 2. All right, this is part 2 to my last reading. We just kind of finished off talking about the divine feminine's energy. And so towards this connection, and it's again, like this feeling of like being so like, I get this feeling for the feminines and for the inner feminine within the masculine. It's this sort of feeling of like, I've worked so hard to contain this energy because my whole life it's always been too much. And yeah, because the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles and then Death, and it's like Death coming out with it was like such this like idea of like, Okay, they showed me contraction. It's like, again, this is the feelings towards the connection. If I show up in all of me, if I show up in this vast, void like, untamable energy that is wild and unknown, that it will be the death of this connection, or the death of me, or I'll lose myself in this and not be able to find my way back to my center. And like, there's this weird, like, over giving energy that you've probably previously witnessed in yourself in different connections, into like being so rigid and so hidden, right? So moving into the masculine's perspective of this connection, we have the Seven of Swords and the Five of Flames. And now the interpretation of the Seven of Swords is very different in this deck, and it really is this like look at these swords. It's almost, if you've ever sat with plant medicine, it kind of reminds me of some of the visuals of things like opening up. It's like seeing into different dimensions, and it's really this broadening of the mind that is being invited into the masculine's perspective of like, I heard like, you see all of the possibilities to the masculine, you see all the potentials, and the Five of Flames is like taking action that counts. And I read through all of this, but I want to reiterate it here. Seven of Swords. Seven swords are hiding on the different levels of boxed in heaven, which hovers dramatically above a wide landscape. Only when experiences are stretched beyond the five senses can the perception of reality behind the transient of material forms be grasped. On the other side of limitations, which is set the conditions for earthly existence, the individual consciousness can be experienced as part of the universal consciousness, right? I really feel the masculine like perception like stretching and bending in ways where it's like being able to see doorways that were not possibly there. And again, there's a lot of like action energy coming from the masculine, like choosing movement and momentum forward. The experiences of higher level energy bring insight into the fundamental process upon which material appearances rest. Then the recognition of creative abilities is finally reached, in which the individual creates his own reality, right? It's almost like you have this mental paintbrush, and it's like you're seeing all the potential timelines. Like, I see the masculine being at this moment of like, I heard like a choice point, an intersection point, because I'm gonna be real and I don't want to bring fear into this reading. There is like this juxtaposition moment, it's a crossroad moment where it's like this alignment. And here's the thing, right? There's always future potentials. It just, with this particular individual, it really feels like if this is the direction you wish to go, like you have to choose that. Like there's actually like making a choice. And I feel there is this fear of making the wrong choice, or is this the right choice? If man becomes aware of his own divine spark, then he finds it in others. And then the Five of Flames is really, really cool as well, because it brings in this aspect of sense of community, growth, inner fire, concrete goal. The mind oriented towards the future requires action that looks ahead. Conscious action and acceptance of consequences promote wise decisions that nip eventual difficulties in the bud. An increase of inner fire can quickly spin out of control, but it's also necessary to get rid of negative emotions at the appropriate time and concentrate on what is important, right? It's kind of like through all the noise, the masculine is realizing this is what I've called in and what I want to cultivate. So how am I going to move forward with that? And I don't feel it being like crazy or like overwhelming, but it's just like literally deciding I'm going for this. And I think that I feel the anxiety that comes in with like, okay, I'm choosing this. I'm choosing to move towards this. And then the connection itself, the Lovers came out. And I clarified the Lovers with the King of Cups and then the King of Spheres. The King of Spheres actually came out when I was like, okay, so how does the person observing this message move forward in this connection? And it literally, the King of Spheres, it's like actual like physical, like coming into the 3D density together in a very conscious way. And then of course the Lover being clarified by the King of Cups is this sort of energy of like the container of this relationship potential, right? We're talking in potentials because this hasn't come into form for a lot of you. For some of you it may have. The potential of this connection is actually a profound emotional container for the two of you, like a space to let parts and pieces of you guys run wild. And but the King of Spheres being the action, like the movement, the momentum forward, it's like man, this is reminding me of a dream I had last night. Just the way the star is resting on the third eye. I had a dream of the Ajna chakra. Like literally that's what Spirit was saying to me. They're like, Ajna chakra. And I was like, okay. And then I was getting downloads all night. So much information. I'm like, did I even sleep? Doesn't really feel like it. And then continuing forward, I was like, okay, well, what more information? How can we, what else, right? And I got the Wheel of Fortune and the Devil. And I heard the devil's in the details. Again, I just heard we don't need to rush this. Let's just take it slow. I think there's this illusion that has to be broken about movement forward and momentum forward. And again, stepping away from this idea that and interesting, like my body language changed, and I want to name that. Like there is this protective energy, and I'm thinking of like what is it, the Emperor, like arms crossed, where it's like there's parts of control that come up, and that's needing to be released, of like controlling the outcome, controlling the potential pain, the potential heartbreak, the risk versus reward. Like, is this worth it, right, on both ends? Anything else you'd like the collective here to know? Because I know I'm speaking to both of you and also both parts within you. The Princess of Flames. She's really pretty. There's all these like tendrils. With, and the Hierophant, yeah, with the astrology that is present, I'm going to start naming a couple things because I feel in past connections, they have moved very quickly for you. And there's this all-consuming, like, wildfire energy. And it's like, can you contain that for yourself? Like, not burning yourself out. And even when I feel into this energy, because it really, like, this is intense energy. And I really want to invite you guys to temper this energy. Because that Princess of Flames is kind of like that wild, like, unapologetic desire. Yeah, the Three of Spheres. Community connection. And, like, I'm almost seeing, like, again, going slow. Yeah, just the Fool, like starting fresh, starting as friends, starting as like, you guys know the full potential and the full picture of this. Yeah, 10 of Spheres, like 10 of Pentacles, like, you know that something will be built out of this. But I heard, like, don't skip to the end of the book. Let it unfold page by page. And that is this Taurus new moon that's coming up. By the way, I have a gathering if any of you are interested in popping in and joining us for that, because we're going to really set some clear intentions. Like, letting it unfold. Enjoy each page. Enjoy each moment of this.